Hey guys, I just got back from the hardware store and I grabbed myself a bunch of zip ties. So I figured I'd give you guys a 2-minute quick tip on how to dye zip ties. Alright guys, this is basically everything you're going to need to make your zip ties dyed and look like awesome candy colors. So first thing you're going to need is the dye. I got RIT dye. You can also use food coloring. It works just as well. You might just have to mix the color yourself. But RIT dye is definitely solid and we know it works, so we'll be using that for the nylon. You're going to need a pot of water big enough to fit the stuff that you're going to dye. You're going to need your zip ties. They have to be nylon, and I prefer to use the white ones. I have not found any of the clear ones, but these ones here seem to work great. And you're going to want some vinegar, because vinegar helps the nylon absorb some of that dye. So let's get cracking. First thing we're going to do is put some dye in the water. Probably don't need a lot. I'm kind of just eyeballing here. And I'm going to mix it around. Make sure you use something metal to mix it around, because if you use something else, you might end up dyeing it and your wife will get really mad at you. So, yeah, let's mix that up. A little bit more. Alright, so we got that. Now we need some vinegar. They say about a cup, I don't know. I kind of just measure by eyeballing and I just go like this. Yeah, that looks like good enough. So you'll notice that the water kind of changes color a little bit. Don't worry about that. That's just the vinegar kind of reacting and doing its thing. We'll mix it up a little bit more. Alright, now we're going to set this thing to boil. So I put it on max over there, put this thing on boil, and we put the lid on it, and now we wait until it boils. We'll come back and check on it. Well, the pot is sweaty and it smells like shit, so we must be close. Which brings me to my point. If you're going to do this, make sure your loved ones aren't home, because it does smell really bad. It's all because of the vinegar, and I'm sure the RIT dye doesn't smell that great either. So back in 2 minutes. Alright guys, this is what I'm talking about. So everything is bubbling and rocking, and now it's ready for the zip tie. So I'm just going to remove the lid here. Woo! And we'll turn that down a little bit, because we don't need it to be quite that crazy, but we need it to be a little bit crazy. So let me just grab some zip ties here for us. And we just dump it in. Boom. It's a bit like making pasta. Okay, so now that everything is in there, take our metal fork and we try to mix it as best we can so that everything gets in there. Alright guys, so I've spread them out and they're looking pretty good. Let them sit here for a little bit. I can already tell, you see how the water got a lot lighter? I'm going to have to add a tiny bit more of this stuff, just a tiny little bit. So you can add it while it's still boiling, and you just go very carefully. There we go, just a tiny little bit, and mix it. As you go, you want to pull them off and check their color and see how they are. And this is getting already pretty close to the color that I want. So it's only going to take a couple of minutes. If you are doing this with food coloring, it can take a lot longer. It can take up to like 20 minutes. So you just have to come back and check, pull some of them off, and check out the color that they're at. Because if you don't do that, you'll end up with that. And as you can see, these are not orange. That's freaking red. So keep an eye on it if you're using RIT dye, so you get the proper orange color that you want. That's it, right there. Boom. So when we get to the color, just pull the pot off the fire. Okay. And then you're going to use the colander over there to like pour it all out. I only have one hand. I'm just going to do it real quick and show you guys the end result. If you've done everything right, you'll end up with something that looks like this. And it's steaming right now. So I'm just going to let it cool off for a minute. And we're going to rinse it with water. Alright guys, these have been rinsed, and as you can see, they're pretty damn nice and orange. They turned out exactly the color that I was hoping that they would. So now we're going to put them to dry on the very high-tech drying rack. And you spread it around so that it can get a lot of air. And there you have it guys. Takes only a few minutes, custom dyed zip ties. Take care.